Hello, my name is Pamela Freeman, and I'm the assistant principal at Baseline Academy in the Little Rock School District. I'm a graduate of Arkansas Tech University and their educational leadership program, and this is my second year serving as an assistant principal. So, just to talk with you a little bit about some of my experiences with finance, the first thing I want to talk to you about is inventory. Um, Inventory is handled, it's my responsibility to take care of the inventory. And I do a couple of things with that. The first thing is my library media specialist, who is phenomenal. I place her in charge of handling any kind of inventory in regards to technology. So, laptops, iPads, computers. She has a sheet that she goes through and she handles that information. Um, our district just recently went to Book Tracks, which is a platform, online platform for doing inventory in regards to textbooks. And so she handles that as well. And some of our computers are slowly being put into that system as well, where the students are actually going to be checking those in and out, which is going to help control inventory as well. And then in regards to just fixed assets, just things that are in the building, our district, whenever a big purchase is made, our district tags that and puts it on our school inventory sheet. And at the end of each year, we get a sheet and we have to go through and just check off and account for all of those items that are in our building. And I do part of that. And then I have my secretary slash bookkeeper assist with that as well. Because that's kind of a big task, walking around and checking off everything. But we are accountable for that. And we make sure that it's in the building. If it's not, we have to notate that it's not there and send that in to our district office. All of our technology comes to us tagged as well. When it's purchased, it goes through our tech center and they tag that as well and put that on that inventory sheet. So it comes to us ready to go, and all of that is on our sheet that we're just accountable for at the end of each year. In regards to safeguards for making sure that all of our money is handled appropriately. We have a wonderful bookkeeper, and she really helps us with this process. Any money that's collected, the district requires that a receipt is written for any money that's collected over $5. So if the teachers are collecting money for a field trip or T-shirts or anything like that, they have to write a receipt for that. And then they have a cash count sheet that they do, and they have to turn that into the bookkeeper. The teacher counts it, and then the bookkeeper counts it. They both sign off on it, and then the deposit is made. So that works well. Sometimes I will be honest, it was a little difficult for our bookkeeper to find time to sit down and count money with teachers. That has been a problem this year. If you've got 4 teachers who've got field trip money, they do have to find time to shut the door and count that money. But they do that, and that keeps everybody accountable. Anything with PTA handles that. We don't put our money on PTA funds. If PTA is collecting money for something, then we have the PTA representative that they touch that money. The teacher may put it in an envelope to collect it, and then the PTA picks that up and handles that. The next thing I want to talk about is just the different accounts that we have. My principals put me in charge of overseeing our operational account, our activity account, as well as our Title I account. And so I'm just aware of that each year. We're working on the budget for next year currently. And our budget is obviously based on our school needs. And we've done a needs assessment to see what do we need for next year, what's going to support our teachers, what's going to support student learning, even what's going to support our parents. We try to look at all of our stakeholders. So we're working on that for next year. And then purchases that are made, Mr. Crossley, the principal, he has to sign off on anything. So any purchase that's made, he has to sign off on it. As an assistant principal, I don't sign anything that has to do with money, so he has to approve it. But I just kind of keep track of it as the year goes by, just to make sure that we're on budget, we're not going over, we're not under, just to ensure that's a smooth process. Our teachers also have accounts. They get their money each year. And our bookkeeper does a wonderful job of making sure they get that $500 each year, and our bookkeeper stays on top of that to make sure they're spending that. We don't want those funds wasted. Those funds are for this year, for this school year, for those students. So she keeps track of that and does friendly reminders, letting them know how much they have left, making sure they don't overspend. And I'll tell you how tight money is. I just got an email the other day that a teacher had to pay back 2 cents because she went 2 cents over her budget. So we are accountable to all of our money, and that was a real quick reminder for me with that. In regards to something a little bit different to Baseline is we have a school improvement grant, and I assist the grants department with that. only in just making sure that we're spending that once again to meet our students' needs. The teachers just submit their orders to me, and I send that to the grants department. Once again, I'm just making sure that we are using those funds to improve student achievement here at Baseline Academy. So that's been a great addition, but another set of funds for me just to kind of keep track of as well. To continue on, the other thing that I would like to talk about is just some advice for new principals who are going to be new principals. This is my second year as an assistant principal, so I've learned something from last year. So the first thing I learned is as a new principal, it was crazy, just in charge of so many things. Just so many things were happening that we just didn't really watch the budget as closely as we should. And so it kind of came towards the end of the school year, and we hadn't spent our funds as well as we should. And so for this year, going this in our second year, we've really monitored that. I've watched that every month. I have my bookkeeper print out a report, so I know where we are. I know how much money's been spent. Because like I said before, it's very important that the funds that you're given for this current school year, that you're spending that on your students and the needs of this school year. So we've done a much better job. Our budget, we're coming to a close actually today. Today's our deadlines for everything to be turned in, and we've done a much better job of making sure that we have spent our money on our students this school year. So I would encourage you to just don't forget about that. You want to be sure that somebody is overseeing that, because we just looked up and it was February, and we just hadn't done a good job of spending that all year. So just be sure that somebody's in charge of monitoring that. The other thing that we've worked on this year is just seeking input in spending money. It's not my money, it's not my principal's money, it's the school's money, and being sure that all of our stakeholders have input. So this year we've worked on asking our teachers, what are your needs? How can we support you? How can these funds support your classroom? Can they improve your instruction? What does that look like? Is it more PD? Is it materials? Is it resources? Is it training? What is it? So we've done a good job of seeking input from our staff, and going forward next year, I would like to go to the next step of seeking input from our parents, especially in regards to our Title I funds. Just asking our parents what do they need. Our job is to connect with our parents and to bridge that gap and assist them and support them in learning at home. And what does that look like? What do you need in order to do that? We worked really hard on our Title I compact this year, and next year I would like to add funds to that. So if this is what we're asking you to do, if these are our school goals and these are your goals, is what you need from us, then how can we attach funds to that so we can ensure that we're all successful? So those are the two things. Monitor your budget closely so that you're spending the funds that you need on your students this current school year. And then secondly, just seeking input, and make your job easier, because it's a lot of pressure if you're thinking about how to spend money. It's a lot easier to seek that input from everyone so that they can provide you with what they need. So I just hope that this video has provided you with some information on looking at finances through the lens of an assistant principal. And hopefully it'll help you as a first year assistant principal or principal. The only other thing that I want to add is we're a small school, so we have a secretary / bookkeeper. So she's housed within our school. So she does the secretary job, the registrar's job, and the bookkeeper's job. So it is a pretty big job. I know some schools have a secretary that handles secretary things and bookkeepers that handle bookkeeper things. But you want to monitor that person closely. She's handing you stuff every day to sign, and you need to be sure that you're looking at what you're signing. My principal does a great job of saying, I'm not sure, I don't understand this. I'm not sure what these funds are being spent on. Should you get some more information from that teacher? And so it's very important that you work very closely with that bookkeeper, and that you trust them as well. So once again, I hope that's given you some information, and good luck to you all as you finish your coursework, and I hope that you finish well. Thank you.